Welcome to this explainer. You know that feeling when you're trying to dig up an official court document and suddenly you're trapped in this crazy legal maze? Or worse, staring down a massive paywall? Yeah, it's frustrating. Well, today we're going to completely demystify the public record system in Lafayette, Louisiana, and figure out exactly how to unlock these records absolutely free.
So, think about this for a second. What if a literal treasure trove of legal history and civic truth was just sitting there, completely free, right from your couch? Imagine just how easy it'd be to find answers about your deep family history, or maybe verify the background of a local business you want to hire with just a few clicks. Well, guess what? It's not some hypothetical scenario. That access actually exists right now.
And we're not just talking about dusty old files here. Let's say you're about to hire a local contractor for your roof. You kind of want to know if they have a history of civil lawsuits, right? These records let you do exactly that. For all you genealogists out there tracing family roots, this is an absolute goldmine for building out historical timelines and connections. For everyday citizens, it's basically a must-have tool for verifying legal backgrounds and just making sure the people you interact with are trustworthy. At the end of the day, it's all about civic transparency. It gives you, the public, the power to hold systems accountable and stay in the loop.
Okay, here's our roadmap for this explainer. We've got 6 sections to get through today. First, unlocking Lafayette's public records, then decoding the court systems, free official online portals, independent tools and workarounds, navigating restrictions and jargon, and finally, ethical and responsible searching. Let's dive right in.
All right, Section 1, Unlocking Lafayette's Public Records. So the very first hurdle we run into is a bit of a geographical quirk. See, Louisiana doesn't do counties, they have parishes. If you go online and type in Lafayette County court records, you're going to hit a brick wall, or probably end up looking at a totally different state entirely. You absolutely have to aim your search at Lafayette Parish custody systems. Now, the statutory backup for all this is the Louisiana Public Records Law, which actually guarantees your right to inspect these government files. But, you've got to use the right search terms to open the door.
Moving right along to Section 2, decoding the court systems. Now that we know we're in Lafayette Parish, we have to figure out which courthouse actually has the paperwork you need. Finding the right platform means knowing who has jurisdiction over the specific matter. In Lafayette, you're essentially choosing between 2 main bodies. On one side, we have the 15th Judicial District Court. This is the big one. It handles broad, heavy-hitting stuff, major criminal trials, massive civil lawsuits, domestic family issues, and probate matters for Lafayette, Acadia, and Vermilion parishes. On the flip side, we have the Lafayette City Court. This one is way more localized. It's where you go for smaller civil claims or, if you were maybe driving a little too fast down Johnston Street and got a traffic ticket. Honestly, just knowing this distinction is half the battle won. Okay, Section 3, free official online portals.
This is where we totally bust the myth that remote records always cost money. Let's take a look at our main digital toolkit. We basically have 4 go-to databases to work with here. There's eClerks LA, which gives you a statewide index of land and civil records with a free account. Then there's Clerk Connect, which actually has a specific free tier for checking court events. After that, the City Court has its own completely free lookup for traffic and misdemeanors. And finally, a site called lftcourtsearch.com offers free aggregated civic data. Let's break these down step by step.
All right, so if you're looking to search 10 years of criminal data, marriage licenses, or land records across multiple parishes, here is your playbook. Step 1, head over to eclerksla.com. Step 2, click sign up and drop in your email. Step 3, and seriously don't skip this, check your inbox and click the validation link they send from lcraa@laclerksofcourt.org. Once you do that, you're in. You get free access to their index searches and something called eClerks Alerts, which is super cool because it actually monitors new filings for you. For abstractors or genealogists, this is an absolutely incredible free resource. Next up, let's talk about Clerk Connect. You're probably going to see Clerk Connect advertised as a paid subscription service for pulling full document images. And, well, it is. But here's the hidden gem, the free court event inquiry tool. Because of statutory mandates, Clerk Connect actually lets you look up scheduled court dates, track pending case events, and confirm statuses for civil and criminal matters entirely for free. You don't need to buy some expensive daily or monthly pass just to see when a hearing is on the calendar. Now, if you're dealing with a traffic ticket or a small claims issue, the Lafayette City Court portal is where you want to be. It's totally free, but there are a few important caveats you need to keep in mind to save yourself a headache. First off, before you even search, you have to click this mandatory legal disclaimer acknowledging you understand their terms. Second, while the system does auto-update every 30 minutes, it's not perfectly real-time. And this is crucial. It does not reliably show real-time arrest warrant statuses.
Always remember that the physical records down at the courthouse officially supersede whatever you see on your screen.
Moving on to Section 4, Independent Tools and Workarounds.
So, what do you do when the official portals lock the full document images behind a paywall, or they just don't have the analytical features you need? You get creative and look at alternative methods. I find it fascinating to check out independent options like ltiefcourtsearch.com. This is a completely free civic tech aggregator. It has absolutely no affiliation with the government. What happens is, these civic tech developers scrape the daily jail booking lists and court dockets to pull all this data together for transparency. Check out these two features. Journey, which literally tracks a defendant's exact path from the moment of arrest all the way to their final appeal, and Heat Map, which plots out city code violations on a map using census APIs. It's a total game changer for journalists and researchers.
But hey, if all the digital tools let you down, or if you just absolutely refuse to pay a subscription fee for document images, here's the ultimate, legally guaranteed workaround. Thanks to the Louisiana Public Records Law, you can view these records for free in person. All you gotta do is visit the Clerk of Court's office at 800 South Buchanan Street in Lafayette. Go on a weekday between 8 a.m. and 4:30 p.m., walk right in, and jump on the public terminal computers they have set up in their land, civil, or criminal departments. Yes, it takes a little bit of legwork, but it completely bypasses every single digital paywall out there.
All right, let's get into Section 5, Navigating Restrictions and Jargon. You know, even if you find the perfect portal, you're not going to get very far if you don't speak the local legal language. Because Louisiana has this rich French and Spanish legal heritage, the vocabulary is pretty unique. For example, if you're doing genealogy research and searching these databases for probate to find an ancestor's will, you're going to come up totally empty-handed. The magic word in Louisiana is succession. A testate succession means there was a will, and an intestate succession means there wasn't. Seriously, write that keyword down. Knowing that alone will save you hours of pulling your hair out.
It's also super important to manage your expectations about what is and isn't public. By law, clerks of court have to restrict or heavily redact certain documents to protect people's privacy. So no, you are not going to find unredacted Social Security numbers. You will absolutely not get access to juvenile court records or adoptions. Sensitive mental health and medical files that get submitted as evidence, sealed. Same goes for protected information regarding victims of severe crimes. Don't waste your time looking for these online, they are strictly locked down.
And that brings us to our final part, Section 6, Ethical and Responsible Searching.
While the law definitely guarantees your right to access this information for the sake of transparency, we kind of have to remember that these records represent real people. These are the lives, struggles, and histories of your neighbors. So as we use these tools, whether you're running a background check, doing some research for a personal project, or tracing your family tree, we just need to be mindful. Access this stuff responsibly and ethically. Respect the privacy boundaries set by the law. Definitely don't use this data for harassment, and stick to the terms of service for the platforms we talked about today.
So there you have it. You've got the roadmap. You know the lingo, and you have the exact digital tools to bypass the paywalls and dive into Lafayette Parish court records like an absolute pro. You know the difference between the courts, you know about the free tiers on Clerk Connect and eClerks LA, and you've even got those independent workarounds right at your fingertips. Now that you're holding the keys to this incredible civic treasure trove, whose story are you going to uncover first?